Glad to meet you all again. Today we will learn the textual comprehension, grammar and vocabulary of the Unit 6 of the 8th Standard English textbook, SSC Board, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. On to Part A, the story of Ikat. Firstly, the comprehension. Answer the following questions. First question, what is the main theme of the story? The main theme of the story is to conserve the heritage of weavers, or you can say the main theme of the story is to promote the handloom industry. On to the second question. How was Chitki Rumal used by different people? Chitki Rumal was used as a headgear by fishermen and labourers and as a towel by the traders in Gujarat. On to the third question. The teacher became silent when she was discussing about handloom. Why? The teacher became silent because she became very sad when she thought of the vanishing handloom industry. Vanishing means slowly disappearing. The growth of the handloom industry is slowly diminishing because of the power looms and other modern textile industries. So here the teacher became very sad when she thought of the declining handloom industry. So she became very silent. On to the fourth question. Children's attention was divided between her words in the fabrics as she opened a silk patola saree. Why? The children were attracted towards a red design on the black background with the flower designs on the borders of the patola sarees and got curious to know more about it. At the same time, they were listening to what the teacher was explaining. So, their attention was divided between her words and the fabrics. As they were doing two tasks at a time, their attention was divided. On to the fifth question. The writer described some designs, historical things and the weaving. Which part of the story do you like the most? I like the weaving part of the story, where the writer speaks about the dyeing of the threads according to the required design. So this is the most wonderful part of the entire story which I liked. On to the vocabulary part. Here we are with the concept homonyms. Homonyms means two words with the same spelling, same pronunciation but different meaning. Here we are given three words. Fair, mind and quiet. Fair as adjective. Its meaning is light skin tone. And fair as noun is just. And you can also say village fair. That is a festival also. Mind. Mind as noun is brain. And mind as verb means be annoyed of. Annoyed of means be angry of. Okay. And then quiet. Quiet as adjective means silent. Quiet as noun means silence. On to the examples. She is a fair girl. That means she is a girl with a fair skin tone, light skin tone. That was a fair judgment, good judgment. No partiality was shown. That was a nice judgment, correct judgment you can say. On to the second word, mind. He has a sharp mind. He has a sharp brain. If you don't mind, can you get me a glass of water? That means if you are not annoyed, can you get me a glass of water? On to the third word, quiet. Quiet as adjective. He is a very quiet boy. Means he is a very silent boy. This place is quiet. That means this place is silent. On to the third bit. Here we are with homophones. Homophones means two words with the same pronunciation but different spelling and different meaning. Here you are given the example some. S-O-M-E some and S-U-M some. Okay, so both have different spellings but the same pronunciation and different meanings again. Read the following passage carefully and replace the underlined words with the correct homophones. One day, Janaki teacher said to the class, "We all know." N-O, no. Instead of no, what should come? Yes, K-N-O-W. No. We all know that the boy in the blue. Instead of B-L-E-W, what should come? B-L-U-E, blue. The boy in the blue dress has one. Instead of O-N-E, one, what should come? W-O-N, one. Won the best student prize. P-R-I-C-E. Prize means cost. What actually should come? P-R-I-Z-E. Prize. Prize means a gift, trophy. She added this is the right. W-R-I-T-E. Right. Instead of right, what should come? R-I-G-H-T. Right means correct. This is the right hour to felicitate him. Here is a gift for the boy, but can anyone help me to untie the knot? Instead of N-O-T, knot, what should come? K-N-O-T, knot. Knot of the dyed ribbon. Instead of D-I-E-D, what should come? D-Y-E-D. D-Y-E-D means colored, filled with colored dye. Okay, on to the grammar part. Read the following pair of sentences taken from the narrative, The Story of Ikat. Ramya asked, "Are these fabrics from Indonesia?" The teacher said, "What can be the origin of the word?" So here we see some sentences with the questions, and now we are learning how to make the direct speech into indirect speech. The other name for indirect speech is reported speech. Okay, so whenever in the reported speech we are converting a question, first we need to find out what type of question it is. If it is a WH question, there is no linking word for it. If it is a yes or no question, then we can use the linking word if or whether. And the tense also changes according to it. The tense goes one tense past, one tense back. So I already prepared a video on direct and indirect speech. You can refer to it for further details. Now on to the exercise. Report the following conversation. Ramya visits a weaver at Pochampalli. She asks him a few questions. Ramya is telling, "Uncle, what are you doing?" How will you change that sentence into indirect speech? Ramya asked the weaver what he was doing. First the subject, then the verb. Weaver says, "I am making a sari. Do you like it?" The weaver replied that he was making a sari and asked if she liked it. Ramya says, "Oh yes, what is the price?" Ramya responded positively and asked what the price was. Weaver says, 500 rupees. Do you want to buy it? The weaver answered that it costed 500 rupees and asked if she wanted to buy it. Ramya says, "Oh yes, can you pack it for me?" She expressed her interest towards buying it and asked if he could pack it for her. And on to the last dialogue, weaver. "Sure, here you are." The weaver agreed to pack and packed it for her. So this is how you change the direct speech into indirect speech. On to the editing part. Read the following passage. Every numbered sentence has an error. Identify and edit it. Lalita, a 10-year-old girl, sowed some tomato seed in the kitchen garden. The seeds grew into little plants after a few days. The seeds grew is there. Some tomato seed is there. It is wrong. When some is there, that means plural should be there. So instead of seed, what should come? Seeds should come. On to the second sentence. Lalita planted them in the middle of the garden. So here in the first sentence you saw that in past tense, sowed, grew. So the second sentence also should be in past tense. So instead of plant, what should come? Planted. She pulled every weed and never allowed an insect or a worm near her pet plants. Here, a insect is wrong. You should use an insect because I is a vowel. So you should use an insect. When the days was hot. Here days is plural. So what should be there? Were. When the days were hot, she poured water to the plants at night also. She planted flowers all around her plot to make it beautiful. The flowers also grew but blossomed. When do you use but? When there is something contrasting, then you use but. But here grow is also good, blossoming also good. So grew and blossomed. And is the right sentence, right word. On to part B, the earthen goblet. On to the comprehension part. Answer the following questions. Who is I in the poem? Who is the speaker in the first stanza? I in the poem is the earthen goblet. The poet is the speaker of the first stanza. On to the second question. What does the phrase fragrant friendship convey about the goblet's relationship with the flower? Fragrant friendship. Fragrance means good smell, nice smell. Okay. Fragrant friendship. What does it say? The phrase fragrant friendship conveys that the goblet had a pleasant and enjoyable friendship with the flower. That means how nice fragrance is. It's very pleasant. It's very enjoyable. Such a type of friendship he had with the flower. On to the third question. The poem has expression burned so warm. Does the poet have tender feelings towards the goblet or the earth? What is your opinion? I feel that the poet has tender feelings towards the earth or the clay which was made into the goblet, because the clay had to undergo the pain of being molded and twirled on the potter's wheel and baked in the kiln before becoming the goblet. On to the fourth question. The goblet has certain feelings towards its present life and past life. Past life means the life as the clay. It says that it had a life when it was a clay, and after the potter put it in the kiln, it lost its life, and it says that this is the lifeless form of its. Okay, so this is its second or the present life. Okay, which life does it like? Why? The goblet likes its past life because it had life and it enjoyed the true friendship of a flower. In that past life it had life. That means it had the capacity to give life to a plant. It had life in it. Okay, and now it doesn't have life. On to the fifth question. What common things do you notice between the expression living breath of me and natural state? Both the natural state and living breath imply the essence of nature. The clay in its natural state had life in it. It could give life to a plant. But now, though it is beautiful to look at, it has no life in it, nor does it have a friend. So in its natural state, it had life. The living breath was there in it. On to part C. Maestro with a mission. The first question. Vempati Chinnasatyam left his house on a purpose. Do you think he was successful at the end? Yeah, we know Vempati Chinnasatyam left his house to elevate Kuchipudi to a higher level, to make it a great dance, make it known to the whole world. Was he successful? Yes, he was successful at the end. When the station master asked Satyam, "Where are you going, dear?" he kept silent. Now, choose one of the options that is not the reason for his silence. He was determined to achieve something. He was determined and confident about his destiny. He was not determined or confident about his destiny. Yeah, this is the answer. This is not the reason, right? He was very much determined and confident about his destiny. On to the third question. If the 18-year-old lad hadn't left his village, Kuchipudi would not have gained this popularity. Do you agree or disagree? Why? Yes, I agree. Because it was just with the relentless efforts of Dr. Vempati Chinnasatyam that Kuchipudi gained popularity and was elevated to the level of a major cultural dance of our country. Yes, only due to the efforts, great efforts of Vempati Chinnasatyam, Kuchipudi gained the name and fame. On to the fourth question. Is it appropriate to call him Dr. Vempati? Do you agree? Why or why not? Yes, it is appropriate to call him Dr. Vempati because he had an ability to communicate each nuance of the dance to connoisseurs and lay persons. For all his contributions to the development and emergence of Kuchipudi to a full-fledged dance form, he rightly deserves to be called Dr. Vempati. That is, when we call him Dr. Vempati, that means a respectable, honorable position we are giving him. Does he really deserve? Yes, of course, he deserves by all means, because he knows every tactics, every small movement in the dance, how to express even the smallest and the most minute emotion, as well as being influential to the common man also. Lay persons means common people. Okay, so he knows how much delicate emotions can be expressed through this dance form. He knows every nook and corner of the dance, so he rightly deserves to be called Dr. Vempati. Moreover, he has strived and struggled so much to bring this great dance form into the international arena, to bring it to the top of the world. So he rightly deserves to be called as Dr. Vempati. Hope this session was useful to you. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and click the like button and leave a comment in the comment box. Thank you once again.